Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another adventure with Reading with Grandma. Today we're going to continue in the series of the stories that my mother wrote. This next set of stories she wrote just a couple of weeks ago. Now she is going to be 91 years old next month, and she still is writing children's stories. These are dedicated to all her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren, and to any other children out there who enjoys a good story. So to start off, we're going to read about two little kittens. There's 3 of these stories. The first one is Two Little Kittens and Their Trip to the Seashore. And there's the 2 little kittens. And what she does is she takes coloring book pages, or she has somebody draw pages, and she puts them in between the story so children can color as they read the story. So off we go to the seashore with 2 little kittens. There was once a family of tiger cats that lived in the southern town of Spring Valley, Tennessee. They were 2 children, Bitsy and Sylvester. They scurried around their home, always looking for something to chase. They loved to bat things around, especially little wads of paper. And most of all, they discovered they also liked to explore old shoes. It seemed to the kittens that they were the most fun, because they could pull at the laces that hung over the tops of the shoes. And as these shoes couldn't get away from them, the kittens would pull and tug and bat at them all day if they wanted to. The kittens grew, and soon they were big enough to be on their own. But they stayed close with their mother to play with all the things they found around in their wanderings. There were other things that amused the kittens as they grew older. Strings dangling from the dining room scarf that lay across the center of the table. There were also a couple of boxes lying around for them to crawl in and pretend to hide from each other. There was so much to explore, to discover, that kept them busy, and as their mother could get her chores done. Although they had some freedom, their mother still watched over them, always teaching them, helping them learn the ways of the world. And she also taught them about all the dangers they might come across. She wanted them to be safe. There was nothing for the kittens to do one rainy afternoon. They were underfoot every time their mother moved to get something done that needed her attention. She tripped over one after the other because they followed her every step. Finally, she told them to find something to do, something that would keep them out of her way till her housework was finished. She needed to get the dishes done, and then she had to tackle their bedroom closet and straighten up the middle drawer, the one that held all their shirts. There was a lot to be done before she could tell them about the trip she was planning for them. For now it was to be a secret, but she did tell them that she had a surprise planned for them. The kittens were excited. Maybe they were going on a trip. That would be fun. Almost every day the kittens asked if this was the day. Their mother told them that they would just have to wait a little bit longer. She knew they would be anxious to go, but she told them they couldn't be asking every day. She would let them know. For now they had to wait. She was sure they would enjoy the trip she had planned. Then, before the kittens could ask again, the day came. Finally, when she would be taking them to their trips. The kittens squealed with delight. The day was finally here. Today they would get a trip to the seashore. They could hardly wait. When the kittens woke up the next morning, the mother told them to get right up and get ready for their trip to the seashore. And there's a picture of the kittens to color. The 2 kittens pranced and danced around, so excited that they were going on a trip. This would be their first trip away from home. Their mother told them it would take a few hours to get there, so they had to behave, and also they should try and be a little quiet for the time it would take for their parents to get them there. At first they were quiet and sat still, but not long into the trip the kittens got restless. It seemed to them that they would never get there. Why was it taking so long? Mama Kitten reminded them more than once that she had told them it would take a little while for them to get to the seashore. And if they didn't behave, they would just turn around and go home, and they wouldn't get to go anywhere at all. Once again, the kittens tried to sit still and enjoy the scenery, but they couldn't sit still for very long. They batted at their paws at each other and wrestled around. They just couldn't be still for 1 minute. The parents knew they couldn't be still for the whole trip. And there they are. Looks like they're on the dock at the seashore. And although Mama Cat had wanted them to be quiet, she knew that probably would not be able to do that for the entire trip. It would take for the entire time it would take to get there. Just a little while later, their mother cat reminded them again. I told you two kittens before we left that the trip would take a while. I'm sure you will enjoy the seashore. You can even put your paws in the water at the edge of the bay. I know you don't like getting them wet, but this will be a different experience for you. And there is a long dock where you can run and burn up some of your energy, and you won't even get your feet wet. The kittens were excited, but they also thought about what could happen if they fell into the water. But then Mama Cat said she thought that they might also have fun running back and forth on the sandy shore. It would also be a new experience for them. Finally, the family arrived at the beach. The kittens looked around. This sure was a new experience for them. They had never, ever seen sand before. All that water was kind of scary. They sure didn't want to even think of getting their paws or their bodies wet. Kittens don't like water, especially, except maybe in a bowl of water to drink on a warm summer's day. A large bird appeared overhead. The kittens looked at that big bird and wondered what in the world it was. They had never seen a parrot before. Their mother told them not to worry. That big bird was a parrot, and she was sure that the parrot wouldn't hurt them. The parrot looked down as he flew through the sky and saw the kittens. Slowly he flew down to where they were. He landed down close to them. He tipped his head and squawked a hello to them. Now, even though they couldn't understand the parrot, they were sure that he wouldn't hurt them, so they mewed back to him that they wanted to be friends. And even though he was a little scary, they had never seen a bird as big as they were, but they weren't afraid. They were just curious. And there are some birds for you to color after you read the story. Just as they were getting settled, along came a big sea turtle. Here was something else they had never seen. They were afraid to get too close to that big thing, but their mother said she didn't think that the big gold turtle would hurt them. Soon the parrot and the turtle and the kittens were getting along fine together. No one was afraid. They were all getting to know each other, and everyone was more curious than afraid. Soon they were all scooting around the sandy shore, chasing each other and having a great time together. Everyone enjoyed the fresh air and the sand and the water, even though the kittens didn't really like water that much. But they were having fun getting to know that big bird and an even bigger sea turtle. This trip turned out to be just great for all of them, and the kittens soon figured that the water couldn't hurt them as long as they stayed on the sandy shore and just looked at it from a little ways away. And there's the big sea turtle. Real cute with his flip-flops and his glasses and his baseball hat. The family soon settled in to enjoy the summer day at the beach. After their mother got everything set up for them to enjoy their day at the beach, she told them to come with her and she would take them for a walk along the long dock at the water's edge. At first, the kittens were a little afraid being so close to the water, but soon they were distracted by an old shoe they found at the edge of the dock. They pulled at the laces and battered at the edge that hung over the shoe. The littlest kitten even crawled in the old shoe for a minute and poking her head out, but they soon tired of that and ran back to the sandy shore, where they had the most fun, romping through the sand. It felt so different on their feet. It was sure a new experience for them, but as they spied the big expanse of the water, they were a little afraid. They mewed to their mother that so much water was scary, but their mother said, oh, there's a kitten with the shoe. Their mother said, don't be afraid. I won't let anything happen to you. Just have fun romping through the sand for a while, and soon I'll open the picnic basket and we'll have lunch. After they ate, one of the kittens decided that she would walk along the long dock and look at the water. More water than she had ever seen. Her mother said it was all right, but to be careful. Bravely, she walked over to the dock and hopped up onto it. She went right to that old shoe and began pulling at the laces. She soon mewed to her brother to join her. She was really having fun climbing over and under the old tennis shoe. At first, the other kitten wasn't sure he wanted to be that close to the water, but as he looked at his sister, he could see that the dock was out of the water. Soon the two kittens were having fun as they continued to climb in and out of the old shoe, pulling at the laces again. Before long, the mother cat mewed to the children that it was getting late and they had to head home. The kittens were having so much fun that they didn't want to leave, but they finally scurried off of the dock and over the sandy shore to where Mother waited. They really had a great time and couldn't believe what fun they had visited the seashore. They learned that scurrying through the sand was a whole new experience for them, and even being close to the water, which was a little scared to be near at first. And they thought about how much fun they had had running through the sandy shore and how they had explored the dock, being more careful because they were closer to the water. And that sure was great fun playing with around that old shoe too. Everything they did had been fun for them. They thought they had seen almost everything, but what happened next was really something that scared them. It was a big sea turtle. It was something else that they had never seen before, but their mother told them the turtle wouldn't hurt them. They could even ride on his back. But the kittens decided they would just look and maybe just learn about it and think about it. They didn't know that they would see anything like that ever before. This sure had been a day full of new things for them to explore. The kittens had really learned a lot as they explored the seashore. Soon they were asleep, dreaming of their trip to the seashore, and they dreamed of floating in a big shoe over the water in the sky far away with a parrot and a big green sea turtle to keep them company. And that's the end of the two little kittens and their trip to the seashore. I hope you enjoyed that story. If you did, leave a comment below. Hit the like button, the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications when I read some more. And enjoy our adventure together. Have a good day, everybody. Bye now.